Malaria. At the 6th Multi-Bilateral Initiative on Malaria, the Pan-African Conference in Durban, Professor Hilary Ranson of the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine says resistance is increasing all across the continent. She says even with the use of mosquito nets and the range of insecticides available, malaria deaths are expected to increase from 639,000 to 644,000 a year. Malaria is the biggest killer in Africa, ahead of HIV/AIDS. Our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo is in Durban, and she's standing by to talk to us about the World Gold Council representative Trevor Keel. Good morning, Ayanda.
Well, a very good morning to you. And of course, we continue to bring you the latest news and developments from the conference. It's the second day of the multilateral initiative on malaria, which has seen some of the world's experts on malaria convening here at the Durban ICC for this week. Now, three key issues have come out of the conference, and these are on prevention measures, a combination of drug therapy and rapid diagnostic tests. And now the World Gold Council has come up with an innovative diagnostic tool using, believe it or not, gold. And joining me now is Dr. Trevor Keel. He's head of technology at the World Gold Council, and he'll be telling us more about this kit. Dr. Keel, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Very interesting. My goodness, gold. Can you tell us about the diagnostic kit?
Absolutely. I mean, gold is used in lots of different technical applications. Some are well known, such as the electronics industry. Some are very little known, such as this particular application. So gold is a really important material for use in diagnostics. Very, very tiny quantities of gold, so we're not talking about large quantities, but so-called nano-particles of gold, and these are used in a certain type of diagnostic test. Now, the advantages this test have really is that firstly they're very cheap, so they can be bought to the market for around 50 cents per test. They don't need refrigeration or any sort of complicated infrastructure to get them to the people that actually need the tests, and critically, they're accurate. So we're here this week, and we're delighted to be here as well, with our colleagues from Fine Diagnostics to talk about the importance of these rapid diagnostic tests.
Just to keep you there, I know you have brought a kit with us. If you can just show us and just explain to us, of course, how it works.
Of course. So this is the test here. It's actually very similar to a pregnancy testing kit, which a lot of people know. It's a similar type of technology. These tests, the way they work is this line here is the actual gold nanoparticles, and what we're trying to identify is antigens in people's blood, people who you think may have malaria. Okay, so a drop of blood is taken and actually added to this well here, and then some water is added to this well. And what happens over about 2 or 3 minutes, this wicks up the test here, and if the person actually has malaria, then what you will see is two purple lines. Here, obviously, we've run this test with just the water, so you just see one line, so it's a negative test. Now, interestingly for gold, it's actually the gold that is making this purple colour. So when you take gold and make it into very, very tiny particles, it actually changes colour because of how it interacts with light. So you don't have the gold colour we all know and love. It actually changes to this purple colour. So the reason gold is used in these tests is because the nanoparticles themselves are very stable, and the nanoparticles are very easily functionalized, so you can put different types of molecules on the surface. So you end up with this test very cheap, very portable, reliable. And so we're here to tell this story, really, because nobody knows that gold is used in this way. But it's, I think, important to also say that we're here with Find as our collaborators. Find do an awful lot of excellent work with the World Health Organization to make sure these tests are accurate and the right type of tests get to the right people in the right part of the world. So just some facts and figures for you very quickly. In 2011, according to the World Health Organization, over 150 million of these tests were sold. So it's incredibly important technology. It makes a difference on the ground in lots of different, in parts of the world where maybe people don't have access to hospitals, don't have access to refrigeration. What it allows is for people to go to their healthcare clinic and to, if they're feeling unwell, they can be told whether they have malaria or not. And so, of course, the next part of this story is that the correct treatment can be given to these people. And this is really important because in the past, maybe 10, 15 years or so ago, people would go thinking they had malaria when in fact they didn't have malaria, but they were still given malaria drugs. So it's a waste of resources for countries that often can't afford it. It builds up immunity to the drugs themselves. So the work that FIND and the World Health Organization have done on these tests is fantastic, and it's very important because it's changed how malaria is treated around the world.
Lovely. Dr. Keel, where are they available? You said they're available worldwide?
These are available worldwide, and different tests are used in different regions, but they all rely on this same gold nanoparticle technology. So it's an important story for gold. When we're used to seeing gold as bars and jewellery, we're also seeing gold being used in a diagnostics test like this, and it's an important story.
Oh, lovely, Dr. Keel. Thank you very much. That was Dr. Trevor Keel, who's the head of technology at the World Gold Council. And you can hear, as you can hear, of course, really, really interesting developments are coming out of this conference. Earlier on today, of course, we heard how scientists are a step closer at finding a vaccine for malaria. So a lot of interesting developments, as I have said. We'll be bringing you more news coming out of this conference later on today. Of course, the discussions on the effects of malaria on pregnant women. So that panel discussion will be taking place later this afternoon, and we'll be bringing you the latest and information that will be coming from that conference. That is all we have for you from the ICC in Durban. It's back to you in Johannesburg.
Thank you, Ayanda Mhlongo from the Durban ICC. Very interesting. Gold being used to treat malaria. Can you believe it? Now that's your business news.